Well, there is your Maui Pro champion for 2016, Tyler Wright, getting the job done over Carissa Moore, who has had a fantastic record against Tyler in finals in the past. That's actually the first time Tyler has got the win off Carissa when they've met in that last heat of a CT event. What a year. 5 victories. One of the most dominant performances we've ever seen. Welcome to the post show, Ronnie Blakey with Rosie Hodge and Martin Potter. Potts, great job on the call. There was just a rhythm thing that worked in Tyler's favour there, taking that first wave and having an opportunity in the later stages of that heat.
You know what, when you looked at that, while it was happening, you know, Joe and I were discussing the fact that you know, that was a really clever thing to do, because, you know, had she let that wave go, Carissa had priority, she would have got that 9 regardless, and then Tyler would have been left out the back without that 6.83. So it came back to eventually help her win that event. I mean, that was smart surfing from Tyler Wright.
Not just luck though, Rosie, for Tyler. All year she has been performing, and you think about that last ride, a lot of pressure on her going, just paddling into that wave, but she delivered a great score and took the lead.
Well, that pressure is eliminated because, like she said in that interview, as soon as she stands up on her board, she knows what she's capable of. So just to have that confidence in your performance and in your surfing, it just alleviates all of that, and it really just comes down to your own performance.
Lots to reflect on. Great performances by those world title front runners, but a magic performance by one of the real dark horses in the draw, Keely Andrew. She shored up her qualification via the QS and really put together some of her best surfing pots in this event. You're a huge fan.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we always knew Keely was a talented surfer. You don't get on the world tour by not being. So, you know, it was just unfortunate that the beginning of the year there was a lot of nerves. It's a different kind of stress. You know, she's obviously had a couple of shots as a wild card, but this is just kind of a sign of things to come, Ronnie. I mean, you know, without that pressure, this is what she's capable of doing, and she took down some big guns along the way. Joanne Defay was her first scalp, and then she went on to beat one of the best of all time, Steph Gilmore.
Quite often, Rosie, around events, the stuff that you don't get to see on camera during heats gives you a pretty good indication of where someone might be heading in their career, and for us, Keely's always had a great amount of speed in her surfing.
Yeah, that's one of the strengths that we can see in her game, and she's really utilized that and found a way to even take it to that next level, putting those maneuvers where they fit in the wave. Sometimes we would see her burn off a bit of speed before going into her turns, but not now. She's attacking it more and really using that momentum to keep up the flow, and that's what's really just pulling all those pieces in together and making that magic mixture of formula.
You look at her run through this contest, Potts, and it was one of the toughest of any of the competitors in the mix. She came up against 3 of the best Honolulu Bay competitors.
Yeah, that she did. You know, and it's just like I said, Ronnie, it's a sign of things to come for this young lady. I mean, you look at next year, she's going to be stronger, she's going to be smarter, she's going to carry a lot of confidence with a semi-final result here. I mean, that is an unbelievable result for her. So, and as you said, not an easy run through this contest. I mean, just that, you know, beating Steph Gilmore alone is going to give her that belief that she can do this, that belief that she belongs. And I think once they have that, you know, things like that is all it takes for a competitor at this level to go to that next step.
Definitely one of those the competitors that's kind of reminds me a little bit of a Sally Fitzgibbons, ultra motivated to just keep evolving, super fit obviously, and I think with that speed and some extra attention to maybe adding some power to some of her surfing, she's going to collect some more big results in the new year.
What an accolade to take out Rookie of the Year. You only get one shot at that, and you know, taking that down this season, like we mentioned, qualifying on the qualifying series to shore up her place for next year, but also just having this great result is just going to give her that much more confidence going into 2017.
Well, let's see how Keely feels about that Rookie of the Year honour. She's with Joe Topel.
Thank you very much. I'm up on the hill with rookie sensation, Keely Andrew. Keely, so impressive to watch throughout this event. We kind of noticed something where you were completely freed up in the opening round, and then it came true, going to your best result on your rookie season. How happy are you to be standing on the cliff now looking back?
Yeah, I'm super happy with how that went. I couldn't have asked for a better event, really, to take down some of the girls that I did and to show my best surfing yet. It's a pretty good way to end the year.
What did you prove to yourself in this contest, and can you save that formula for next season?
Yeah, I proved to myself that I belong here. It was a pretty tough year results-wise for me being a rookie, and it's nice to know that I am capable of getting a semi-final finish here. And yeah, I'm looking to take that through to Snapper next year.
Well, Keely, there's one award in surfing. You can only win once. And what a feeling to have your name now next to the list of all the big-time Rookie of the Year awards. How does it feel to be officially Rookie of the Year in 2016?
Yeah, it's pretty special. Thanks so much for that. Yeah, like you said, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and yeah, I'm grateful that I've put my name on that list.
Well, we started thinking of our special moments for this contest, from the Gilmore heat to early this morning against Coco Ho, and then that round one victory where then Sally and Joanne were knocked out of the contest. What's your single best memory or matchup you had in the event?
Oh, gee, that's a tough question. I think every heat I've had has been my favorite. It's hard to choose one. Every heat, I think I put up some of my best totals all year, so I'm really happy with how the event went in whole.
Congratulations, Keely Andrew, you're Rookie of the Year, and best of luck next season.
Thanks so much.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Joe. Keely Andrew, an amazing result in the final stop of the season. And we're seeing our finalists from the Maui Pro this year making their way up towards the presentation. At the moment, Tyler Wright, obviously elated, such a relaxed run. But I like what you brought up, Potts, earlier today. You said that this is our first opportunity to see how Tyler performs now that she's got a world title. And, well, now we've seen it.
Yeah, dangerous.
Perform really well.
Yeah, if that answers your question. Daunting for the rest of the field. I mean, you know, there's a certain amount of pressure, obviously, that comes along with that. I think, you know, next year might be a little different for Tyler coming into Snapper Rocks, being the defending champ there, being the world champion. You know, it's a different feeling. You know, you've got that media attention. You've got, you know, everyone wants a piece of you. And not only that, you've got 17 ladies on tour that just want to kick your butt. So it's going to be exciting stuff. I mean, I can't wait.
Absolutely, of course, while there's been glory runs and fairy tale finishes to magic years for the likes of Tyler Wright, there's also been some pretty sad stories unfolding here. Bianca Buitendag, though, put up a fantastic fight to try and keep her place on the championship tour, Rosie, but just fell short.
Well, I think it just speaks to, you know, the surfer that Bianca is, the way that she handled this pressure. It was a must-win situation for her if she was going to shore up a place for 2017, and she came into this event, she said, freed up just because she had nothing to lose, and I think she can almost take a lot of lesson out of that approach if she does choose to do the QS next year, just to let it all hang out and let it free.
Definitely. I thought her round two performance was really strong. Obviously one of the best heat score totals of the event, 16 points plus, but Bianca was already kind of making mention that maybe getting the opportunity to surf this event in small waves is going to work in her favour next year, which even though she hasn't yet indicated that she's going to hit the QS, to me that was a little maybe just a little example of what she's thinking for 2017.
You know what, not non-committal in the interview, but you know Bianca, she's a competitor through and through, and I think a bit of time at home, Christmas, New Year, you know, Joanne's going to join her in South Africa. I think she's going to get those juices flowing again. She's too good not to be on the tour. She definitely belongs, and I think what a gallant effort. I mean, she surfed incredibly well. You know, had the conditions been a little different, Ronnie, I think we might have seen maybe her requalify. You never know. I mean,
yes.
It's a way that she surfs amazing.
Yeah, just a few heat wins away from shoring up that 10th position. But she can hold her head up high, and we know that she'll be back. She was kind of let down in the final stages of a quarterfinal matchup with no real opportunity to have a good crack at a decent wave.
Well, she had, you know, the best wave of that round, or the best wave of that heat against Courtney Conlogue, the 8.0, but unfortunately she had a 2 in her scoreline, so you know, she gave herself, you know, this event to try and shore up her place, and just, we didn't even really give her a breath. Rihanna went straight into it on the interview. Will you be trying to requalify next year? And obviously she just wants to take some time and just recalibrate and find what her routine is going to look like.
And with that, Potts?
Yep, I mean, there's the list of people that are going to qualify, but Laura Enever, number 10 again, snuck in there.
Unbelievable.
You know, I think a true warrior. I mean, she surfed through a bung knee, and you know, the thing with what Sage said too, you know, life's not over if you go back to the QS. It was one of the best years of her life. So, you know, the surfers that didn't make it this year, get back on the horse and get out there, work harder, work stronger. Andy did that, came back and won 3 world titles.
Yeah, big time.
So, you know, it's not all over.
We say goodbye to Alessa Curzon and Bianca Buitendag, but we say hello to some really strong contenders for 2017. Tyler Wright and Carissa Moore. Just congratulating one another on what was a fantastic final. Carissa had that single highest scoring ride. What a wave it was. She displayed some of that power but the rhythm went Tyler's way, and even though Carissa had the single highest score,
Yep.
the combination of two pretty solid rides was enough to get her yet another victory. So impressive.
5. I think the last person to do that was Steph Gilmore. 5 in one season. That's huge.
Let's have a look at Carissa's road to the final, because once again, Potts, amazing just how well she surfed. She gave us highlight moments, and again, she's going to threaten in 2017 for sure.
Well, you look at, how the way she's, third's her worst result. Third, first. I mean, if that's the way it's going, the pattern forming, it's going to be first next year.
Yeah,
so it's crazy.
The rhythm works out pretty good for her, Razzie.
Yeah, for sure. I think even, making this final here in Maui and just knowing that she's come up against Tyler Wright, the new world champion, she's got a couple of things to work on if she's getting a second place in this event. But some of the turns that she was throwing down, I mean, mind-blowing, just the clinic and the absolute surfing tutorial that she puts on every time she throws on that competitive jersey.
I love that. How was that line into that first turn option then, just highlining through a pretty racy section and then just sinking that rail so deep into the face. Really no one on tour can match that kind of power. When Carissa gets a little bit of room to move, it is sort of undeniable just how strong she is.
Well, it's part of the criteria, it's going to be anyway that to match it with Carissa, to match it with Tyler, two of the most powerful surfers on tour. I think you're going to have that, and if you don't, get in the gym and start working on it, because you're not going to take these ladies down by tiptoeing around it. You've got to really hook into those turns. I mean, that turn Carissa did in the finals on her 9-point ride was as good as it gets, but consistency was lacking.
Yeah, I think Courtney and Tyler have shown what a fully dedicated campaign can do for you. Yep. Really getting on top of Carissa and Stephanie, but I think it's going to really spark something special out of Steph and Carissa for the new year. I think that they're going to work really hard, and the way Carissa surfed this event, she was unlucky not to get the win.
Well, it's the seeds that you sow. I think, you put in that hard work and that effort, and you really start to see those results, and that's when it starts to snowball. I think that's what we saw from Tyler Wright this year, is just a snowball effect of all of that hard work and effort and a positive mental attitude, and it comes to fruition. I think, Carissa Moore can be stoked that she's inspired surfers like Tyler Wright and Courtney Conlogue to go for world titles because of the path that she's paved.
Amazing. Yeah, Potts, we often talk when the conditions kind of get a little marginal. It was certainly a little smaller than we would have liked for this event. It kind of opens the door for some of the lower seeds and evens up the playing field a little bit, but it always seems to be those same surfers surfing it out for the event wins.
Cream rises to the top, Ronnie, and it's they find a way, and that's why they're the champions. That's why they've got those world title trophies on their mantelpieces, because they find a way, no matter what it's like. Whether it's 5-6 foot thumping shore breaks on shore, they manufacture a way to make it look good, and that's a sign of a true champion.
Tyler Wright has just come off the Festival of Tyler back home in Oz. They've been partying their guts out, but she refocused, and she wanted to finish this year with a big band, so she took a break from the celebrations and really set her sights on finishing the year strong. She looks so powerful in the very first heat that she surfed here.
Totally. We were always, anticipating how she would start off this season. Would she kind of let it slide a little bit, maybe get a little bit lazy? But there was none of that from Tyler. And I like the balance too. The Festival of Tyler, she celebrated in Australia. And then as soon as it came down to, putting your head back to work for this event, she just got straight into it.
Ronnie, there was one glitch, round 3, one wave, 3 points. Micro wasn't happy, let me tell you. I mean, I heard there was words, and from that point on, Tyler looked pretty much back on track and in form to go on and win it.
There's not much of him, Micro, but he's got a heart the size of Africa.
Yeah, but didn't you arm wrestle him, Ronnie?
Yeah, no, he beat me. It's
a strong little guy.
Yeah, he's definitely strong-minded, but he has been so good this year at keeping Tyler on her game plan for each event. Really, each day of this event window, there's a lot of down days, 10 in total, straight. He just kept her mind sharp. He got her boxing, doing a bit of running. She didn't always want to do it.
Question, how many other competitors were doing that, do you think? I reckon 0. I reckon they're all having a bit of fun, sightseeing, keeping it light, surfing. Tyler was training still.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
And babysitting.
And babysitting.
It's addictive too. I mean, when you win and you figured out the formula, it does become addictive. You do want to put in the hard work. You know, she said it was hard to motivate to get to do that training, but once she was doing it, she was so happy, and it paid off. I mean, just to have that, see the results from it. I don't know, the other girls can take a leaf out of her book.
I'm addicted to losing, unfortunately. Can't get enough of it. But,
maybe we can get Micro to help us.
Oh, big time, yeah.
We're all going to sign up.
I think there'd be a few people knocking on Micro's door in the off-season. He's going to have some tough decisions to make, possibly, but Tyler Wright, what a great performance from her here at the final contest, getting another victory, and amazing. She surfed in 7 of the 10 finals this
crazy.
year.
Crazy.
Insane.
Consistent.
I mean, wow, that is, you know, one of the most consistent years, that, like we mentioned, comparable to Steph Gilmore, and just to have that shake-up of the world title and have someone new on top of that leaderboard, you know, I'm stoked to see the level that the ladies have taken the sport to.
All right, well, the pressure was off for the world title, so this presentation should be one of our best all year. It's going to be good fun. We're going to throw it down to Joe Topel.
Thank you very much, Ronnie, up there on the post show, everyone watching around the world on WorldSurfLeague.com. Thank you so much. It's been another incredible year in pro surfing, and we're so happy and very lucky and blessed to be able to finish every single year here at Honolulu Bay. The Maui Women's Pro is the 10th stop of the Samsung Galaxy Championship Tour, and every year's got a whole new story with world champions, with event wins, and the performances get better and better. Big thanks to the local community here on Maui that welcome us with open arms and give us an amazing waiting period at one of the best waves in the whole world. We thank you so much. There's so much talent here in Maui, and we love seeing the world's best come down to check out all the action, and everyone watching around the world online, all of our viewers and fans around the world. We really appreciate it. Also, thank you for our big global sponsors that really make this whole dream come true. Big thanks to Samsung Galaxy, GoPro, Jeep Pacifico, Workday, and Airbnb for all the amazing support. This year's been second to none as far as performances were concerned. We had more world title showdown contenders than ever, going through all the usual suspects from Carissa Moore to Stephanie Gilmore, Courtney Conlon being consistent, and Tyler Wright making it official. An event early in France to be the world champion in 2016, and she's actually a very proud owner of a Jeep Wrangler. So a big congrats to Tyler, also in the final here at Honolulu Bay. Jessie Miley Dyer right here. She's a deputy commissioner. She's the first ever deputy commissioner for women's pro surfing. She was on tour, and gosh, she loves Maui as well. Back-to-back finals and a big win. Congrats, Jessie, on a stellar event. Great call today on finals day. And we have some great local surfers from the North Shore of Maui going to help us with the presentation. Cece, Savannah, Tatiana, and Haley, thank you for the celebration. And the winner of this event gets that beautiful, yes, shaped by Jerry Lopez himself, that surfboard, one of the most coveted trophies in the sport of surfing. Also the artwork, Phil Roberts, he's done artwork for years, always on the pipe trophies as well, so great to have Phil Roberts making the collaboration come true with one of the best surfers ever, Jerry Lopez. Well, this one was a special final. The last event of the season, you're sort of always trying to script things on what might unfold, and then we looked at the final series. We had number 1, number 2, and number 3 in the world coming into the last couple of heats of the day, and 2 surfers ended up lining up together that have a lot of respect for each other, surfing in their 8th final together, their 2nd final here at Honolulu Bay. It's now a great time to introduce a Hawaiian, your runner-up for the Maui Women's Pro, 3-time world champ, Carissa Moore. Carissa Moore, another amazing year this year on tour. 3rd in the world. You've never finished anything less than that. You're always turning up for huge performances. But what about Honolulu Bay? Your 3rd straight final. No matter what the conditions look like, it always turns in your best. How do you feel about this amazing wave on tour?
It's one of my favorite stops on tour. It's just so good to surf in home waters, you know, in front of your family and friends. And I'm super stoked. I feel really lucky to make it to the final. I'm with the help of Micah Nickens and my dad and Luke and just all the support of my family and my sister all the way from Santa Barbara. So that's been really nice.
Well, thinking about this season, you have a lot of positives, a couple of big things to really be proud of. Making the final in Fiji, one of the best barrels there, winning in France for the first time. But what about for you? What are you most proud of looking back?
I learned every year you learn a lot about yourself, and I've become more self-aware, and I'm just working through some different things and learning some different things that I'm looking forward to putting the puzzle pieces together for 2017. But I think one of the highlights was definitely Fiji. I had so much fun there, and it was one of my biggest challenge, the most challenging spots on tour for me. So it was nice to kind of step it up and start to figure it out.
There's something special, Carissa, when you meet up with Tyler Wright in big moments. You've been in title showdowns with her in the past where we're counting the numbers heat by heat down to the finale where you've ended up on top. What is it about Tyler Wright that brings out your best in performance?
Tyler, she's just an all-around great human, great competitor. She knows how to balance, being a friend and being a fierce competitor, and I think she knows how to let go of losses and pick back up and fight again, and she just has a really good mind frame, especially this year, which was super inspiring to watch.
Awesome, Carissa. Big 9 in the final, another big final here at Honolulu Bay, and 3rd in the world. Best of luck, and have fun in the off-season. I'm sure you have some people you want to thank.
Yeah, I want to thank all my sponsors, Red Bull, Hurley, Target, Subaru Hawaii, Matt Biolas for shaping amazing boards. I'm probably forgetting some people, but just all my family and friends and all the fans here that came today to support. It was some challenging conditions, so thanks for hanging in there and supporting us.
One more time for Carissa Moore, representing Hawaii, her 3rd straight final. Here at Honolulu Bay, she finishes the season number 3 in the world. What a rad moment to take in, and this final was so fun to watch. This is a good time to think about a surfer that has just proven so much dominance, so much composure under pressure to take her 5th win of the season in her first world title year. Let's now introduce your world champion in 2016 and the winner of the Maui Women's Pro, Tyler Wright. We've been lucky enough to do this a lot this year, Tyler. Going for your world title was a statement that you made early. Some athletes don't want to do that so early and get put on the record so quick. You didn't mind it. You wanted to fight for a world title. You realized that dream. Picked up 4 wins. You didn't have to really do much here if you didn't want to. You could do whatever you want when you were a world champion. Where was your inspiration to come out here at Honolulu Bay and win this one for the first time?
Yeah, it's this is the most relaxed I've ever been for an event, and I've had so much fun. Actually, I've had fun all year, and inspiration for this event, it's learning. It's that's been the kind of undercurrent of everything that I've done this year, is being able to learn quickly, learn on the fly, and then change and adapt. And I think we got some work done that was pretty good. I hope. I'll have to ask my coach, but yeah, I think so. After the couple of rocky first rounds, and kind of pulled it together today really nicely.
You were really fired up on finals day, turned it in massive numbers. What happened in the final? There was a long lull, you had plenty of time on the clock. Where was the decision going in your mind to take that wave under priority? The 683 was really smart looking back. It kept you in the game.
Yeah, so that was, I knew wrist had priority, and, I could kind of see the sets coming, and at that time I didn't really think there was anything after it. So, I just gave myself an opportunity to get something on the board. I've already been sitting there for like 10, 15 minutes. So, and then obviously wrist got that 9, and I was like, oh, so now it's just a waiting game and hoping something of that caliber came through in the end. And waited a while, waited to 2 minutes from I think about 27. So, it was very calm though, very kind of relaxed kind of state for me, and knowing that if a wave comes through and it breaks in front of me, I'll go, and if it doesn't, that's okay too.
An amazing record for you, getting your first win in a final off Carissa Moore. You've had amazing words about her over your career, but to get your first one in a final, what does that mean to you?
That means she's pretty good. Honestly, me and Riss have had, I think you said 8 finals before, and I think she's got me in 7, if this is my first win, which is pretty incredible. Riss has just schooled me every year, pretty much till this year, and I think this is the first year that I've kind of come out knowing that I had to get a lot of work done to reach that standard of being a complete and well-packaged world title contender. So I did that, and I think we'll have many more fun battles to come.
Predictions for 2017, and before you get there, your off-season plans. We want to know everything, Tyler.
Yeah, so I think at the moment actually still got to do a few things. Yeah, I think I'm going to go to the North Shore, have some fun there, and work on a couple things, and then really enjoy the Christmas break. And then heading into 2017, it's the same plan. Going after the same thing.
Thank you for such an inspiring performance this whole season, and your 5th win of the year, and your first at Honolulu Bay.
Yeah, it's been incredible. It's been such a interesting year for me, and so much enjoyment on tour, and it's definitely had its interesting times as well in my personal life. So just having that balance, and yeah, that's what this year's kind of been about. And you know, having Glenn Hall there, who's, you know, that's part of his kind of theory, is just a well-balanced kind of human being, and go in and, you know, learn what you can. And yeah, it's made this year so enjoyable, and you know, I've really thrived on that. And just massive thank you to Glenn Hall and Bam as well for being here and making it entertaining. And just everybody at home that's watched, that stayed up late, that have, you know, up at 2 a.m. in the morning as well, and that have just, you know, supported me throughout my entire life. And yeah, so shout out to the hometown and everybody that I love there. And yeah, I'm pretty stoked.
An absolute legend. One more time for Tyler Wright, your 2016 world champ and your champion here at Honolulu Bay at the Maui Women's Pro. And a big congrats to Carissa Moore for 3 straight final appearances here in Maui. We'll continue the celebration here and send it back to the post show with Ronnie Blakey.
Thank you, Joe. What a trophy that is.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
I want to touch it. I want to ride it.
that
Do you
thing.
think Tyler would mind if I took it for a spin?
Yeah, Phil Roberts, his artwork is incredible. Jerry Lopez shaped that board. Tyler just continues just that calmness. It almost freaks me out. I wanted to just finally let her hair down and let it all out. But as she mentioned, she has had so much going on in her personal life, and to just get past all of that and keep focused. And I think use competitive surfing, Rosie, as we heard Bianca Buitendag say during her profile piece, use competitive surfing as an escape from some of the challenges that she's been facing in her personal life. It's just amazing that she's kept it together.
Yeah, that's just one thing that we can say about Tyler. I mean, we've been at every event. We've seen, you know, what these ladies have been going through, and you've really got to find that balance in life. And they've been growing, you know, as they've been on tour and as they're on the road, and then also having that pressure to perform when they're surfing and do their job. And Tyler's just cracked it. It's so good to see the way that she's matured throughout this year.
Culburra, might be time to get another party organised for Tyler's return. But of course, we've got to have a look at the end of year ratings, the Jeep leaderboard. Tyler actually improving her points total with yet another victory, her 5th of the season. Courtney hung on to that 2nd spot, but Carissa, she came within pretty close quarters of the top 3 in this final contest with a strong showing. But have a look at that separation on the points between Tyler and her nearest rival there.
Yeah, crazy stuff. I mean, you know, 12,000 points. That's unbelievable. It's just a really dominant performance from Tyler, you know, and a sign of things to come, obviously. Courtney Conalog right there in the mix, you know, all the way through the year. She's going to use that fuel for the fire. We already had a little chat to her, and she's fired up. She's going to go back, and you know she's going to put the hard yards in for next year.
It's kind of interesting. Last year at the end of the season, Carissa's really dominant performance, I just didn't see her losing a world title in 2016, but meanwhile just bubbling away just behind the likes of Carissa was Tyler, getting ready to get a full campaign happening. Courtney made a jump up the ratings, and it just means that next year is going to be so interesting when you look at that schedule. The same events for the women, and obviously a lot more contenders at each stop now.
Well, yeah, you speak about Tyler Wright, you know, making the charge this year, and just how dominant Carissa Moore was. You know, Tyler only really made up her mind last year in France that she was going to go for the world title. So, you know, putting that formula to work, I think if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think Tyler can just do more of the same next year.
Absolutely right. I mean, she knows what the recipe is. She knows what she's got to do. She knows how to win, and winning becomes contagious, you know, especially at this level. It's going to be interesting to see what Steph does, if she can fire up and throw her name in the hat. You know, you've got Tatiana right there in 4th place. I was really impressed with Lakey's comeback as well. I mean, she's improved a hell of a lot as well. So, I mean, watch out. There could be some new names up there next year.
Bring it on. It's going to be fun to watch unfold. Of course, this time of year is huge for the World Surf League. So many events unfolding. We've got a big one kicking off tomorrow over in China. Let's take some more information on that. That event is, of course, the Jeep Longboard World Championships in Hainan over there in China. And Rosie, you'll be watching this one closely. You got some buddies fighting it out for the crown over there.
Two-time world longboarding champion Keely Andrew is back at it to get another title under her belt, and going up against the likes of Rachel Tilly, who won last year. So there's a lot of talent in that mix.
Yeah, Hainan, it's quite an interesting place too. Beautiful little beach right there, little sandbank sort of point break. So it's exciting stuff, but I'm more excited about the next one coming up for us.
Oh, there's a big one coming up, of course, the end-of-year event. The world title, much like the women's contest, has already been decided, but the most prestigious event on the schedule, the Pipe Masters, Billabong Pipe Masters, kicks off on December 8th. Cannot wait for this one. I feel like Gabriel Medina is going to have so much to prove. He's actually performed better than John in the Pipe Masters these past couple of seasons. Two finals from the last two events. I don't know, who's your pick to win that event? I think Gabe might be the guy to beat.
Yeah, I think John's going to win it. I think it's going to be a John Kelly final. I hope it's pumping. I hope it's big west, 15-foot roll-ins, gnarly jet ski assist, crazy pipe.
What about Kelly Slater? How do you like his chances?
He said he's going to be in the final.
No, he's
going to be in the final. Okay.
Against
Kelly John in the final. I think John's going to win it.
Yeah, I'm backing Potts on that. I think John just is looking so dominant, and just think about that as a season for him to win the world title, win the Eddie, potentially the Triple Crown, and to win Pipe Masters. I think he'd be flying after that.
Winning's contagious. Tyler Wright just proved it. I mean, there's no pressure. John's already won one event on the Triple Crown. I was keeping an eye on today. He's through into won his round 3 heat, so he's still going in that event.
Contagious. I hope I catch it.
Let's go and hang out with him a little bit.
But of course, the Vans World Cup of Surfing, the last big QS event of the year, is unfolding. Surfers chasing top 10 finishes on the QS to get onto the championship tour. That's playing out right now in pretty fun conditions over there at Sunset, and some big results already. Some surfers falling short, Rosie, of their required finishes.
Yeah, you can binge watch on worldsurfleague.com. I mean, straight off the women's event into the World Cup of Surfing at Sunset Beach, see who's going to requalify. I mean, it's getting so exciting. My favourite part of the year.
It really is. Potts, just final thoughts on 2016, the Women's Championship Tour.
Unbelievable. Yet again, the level got kicked up a notch. We've seen some new faces in the mix. Next year's going to be no different. I think it's going to be probably one of the best, toughest world title battles ever. So don't miss it.
Rosie, you got anything to add to that?
I'm just so impressed and so proud of all the ladies, the way that they've performed, and I can't wait to see what they bring next year. I think after we finish this one, I'm always looking forward to Snapper Rocks to see what they do.
The standard of surfing continues to rise on the Women's Championship Tour. We're looking forward to a big 2017. A huge congratulations to Tyler Wright, the event winner here and the new world champion. We'll see you on December 8th to wrap things up at the Billabong Pipe Masters.